Hello and welcome to the Beauty Dharma Summit. I am Leslie Kristen and I am here with one of my dearest clients, Ginny Botts. And thank you, Ginny, for being here and sharing with us. This is going to be a beautiful side of what we can do to help out those that are less fortunate and to make their lives so much better. And Ginny is, so I'm going to share with you about Ginny because I have known her for a long time. I have been her makeup artist for her wedding, for many things. One of my stellar makeup clients and learns all of these fun updates. And so just love her. So thank you, Ginny. I want to share with you a little bit about who Ginny is and what she has done. So she has spent over the past decade working within the field of education. Her passion lies in helping college students be their most successful selves. Currently, she works for Support Our Scholars, which is a local nonprofit who helps support brilliant, driven young women who are the first in their families to go to college. Prior to this role, she spent 7 years teaching and doing research at UCF, where she also received her doctorate in education, focusing on higher education and policy studies. During her tenure at UCF, Ginny presented at numerous national conferences on issues related to the success of first-year students and has had several articles published on low-income students. After working with over 1,000 students, wow, Ginny has learned that the most problems students face aren't academic, but rather life just getting in the way. It takes a village to get our students and all of us through life. In her spare time, Ginny enjoys running around the front yard with her husband, her young daughter, and her puppy, and looks forward to being able to travel the world again. Yes.
Yes. Because I like to check off all of your eyeshadow names and countries.
All of the Cara eyeshadows are all different countries, cities, and yes, that would be a fabulous thing. Where's your next?
Oh, you should have a passport or something where, somebody can check off.
Oh, that's a great idea. I love that. So yes, Ginny, I think that's a great idea. We probably will create a little Cara passport with all of our different eyeshadows on there.
To help me plan my next trip.
Yes. Tahiti.
Yes.
Or could be, I don't know, Malta.
I am going to Malta next year.
Oh, perfect. See?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, as we dream about traveling right now in the COVID crisis, we are going to dive a little deeper into the conversation of beauty. Ginny, share with me, our first question is, what does beauty mean to you?
So I think this has really evolved over the course of life. I think people in their teens and 20s, you take a very external view of beauty. Am I tall enough? Am I blonde enough? Am I tan enough? Am I thin enough? Am I whatever? And I think the great thing about getting older is you realize it has nothing to do with what's on the outside. And it's really about who you are and who your soul is. And to me, the most beautiful people are the ones that are kind and generous and are just like a warm hug, and that have this quiet confidence about themselves that they feel like they can take over the world. And And so, I mean, as I've gotten older, yes, I like to keep up my highlights, and this is not natural. Full disclosure, you know, but it really doesn't have anything to do with on the outside. And I think when you feel good and confident about yourself on the inside, that's what radiates out. And I think that's what people respond to when they look at you or when they interact with you. So when you really feel comfortable in your own skin, which can take a really long time to get there, that's what is beautiful. And, you know, I think all of our little imperfections and all of our little quirks, and what makes us different than the person next to us, you know, that's really beautiful. When we struggle and we fail and then we get up and we try again and are successful or make a little bit of progress, you know, that's really beautiful.
Yeah. And I think, you know, when you're younger, it's so much about fitting in, you know, it's so much about the exterior. And I think especially now with social media and pressure and, you know, all the editing apps on, you know, even Zoom, you know, we love those.
I do have a filter on Zoom right now.
Yeah. We're not that real.
I know. Hey, but I am comfortable enough to admit that I'm using the filter.
Heck yeah. I mean, you know, and that's the fun part about it, right? Is that,
you know, that's where it's being comfortable to say, yep, put a little filter on that photo.
Yeah, put a little highlights, cover up a little gray. You're not there yet, but hello. Yes. And so, and then every single speaker that I have spoken to, they just really share a very common thread to what you just said. And I think that, you know, that is the beauty of aging and getting wiser and more comfortable in your own skin and you know, looking good on the outside, it also makes you feel good too. So it does.
That's why I come visit you all the time. You know, but since I work with college students, I wish they knew that that's what was beautiful, and it wasn't this and this and the nails and the clothes, and that it's really them that's beautiful. You know, I think that's just, we all have to grow into that, but it's something that I wish my students, I could really get them to understand and help them see themselves how I see them, as opposed to how they assume, you know, other people that are 18 to 24 see them.
Yes. And we all kind of go through that journey. I mean, there are some, but even the most beautiful people that we would, let's say, you know, quote unquote, call that, or, you know, even actors that I've worked with that you look at them and you're like, you know, they've got loads of money, they're successful, they're this, and there is all of those insecurities in there, you know, there's so from the outside, we kind of see like, oh, everything is perfect and this and that. And it's not until you can really explore. So yes. Oh,
and I think there's something so empowering about being able to share what those flaws are and what those insecurities are and being okay with those.
That is gold right there. It absolutely is, because there's a lot of freedom. But I think when you're younger, it's, you know, I remember, gosh, you know, being young, like you tried so hard to be cool. You just tried so hard.
And you tried so hard to make it look like everything was perfect and you had everything together and nothing was wrong. And I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And I think there's something so freeing about being like, stuff is hitting the fan right now. And like, you know, it's hard, you know, working and doing this and doing this and doing this. And I'm tired. And, you know, I think there's something just really empowering about being able to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have two different, you've got those two different types of people as well, that are the ones that live with level of pressure and perfection. And then I think you kind of have the other ones that are just like, whatever,
Well, and that second group has been to counseling and the first group hasn't. That's the difference.
That's awesome.
Shout out to my counselor.
Oh, that is so funny. Oh, so second question that I have for you is, when did you discover your own beauty?
This is a hard one. So my life journey, and I tell the students I work with this all the time, is to them, I know my life looks perfect. My hair looks shiny and I drive a pretty car and I live in a pretty house, and I do love pretty clothes and pretty shoes, which I do have on real pants right now, even though you can't see them. It's when I was able to accept myself that I feel like I really felt beautiful. And becoming comfortable in my skin has taken a really, really long time. I spent my 20s in a rehab center for an eating disorder. So obviously that time in my life, I was chasing a sense of perfection that wasn't attainable. And I was chasing a look that wasn't attainable because those magazines are airbrushed and photoshopped and whatever. But and until I was able to really be comfortable in my own skin, which took a lot of time, and it took a lot of counseling, and it took a lot of soul searching to get there. But I think when I found something that I was super passionate about, all of that other stuff didn't matter. So, I went to UCF and I got my doctorate and fully immersed myself in the world of working with college students, which was amazing. And I loved being a college student. So why not go back to school? But really the work that I do right now in being able to help other women, especially young women, be the best version of themselves is just the most amazing thing. And I get to live this amazing dream that I think everybody that goes into education, this is what they want to do. They want to so deeply impact the students that they work with. And so when I come home at the end of the day, I can see the difference I've made in the lives of the girls that I work with. And I know that their lives are different and their lives are better because of the work that I do and the work that our organization does. And about that, like, nothing else matters. I mean, I can have a crappy day, like when I got a flat tire or whatever, but at the end of the day, being able to impact the life of another person, and feeling so blessed that I get to do that and that somebody actually pays me to do that. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent and I forget what the question was, but, I think through the work that I get to do now is when I really felt the most beautiful in terms of living out that I've been given, the education that I've been so blessed to have, to use that for a positive thing, and to do it with young women, I think is really awesome, because when you educate a woman, you educate the rest of her family, and she'll choose a more educated partner and she'll have more educated children, and it'll really change the trajectory of her entire family. And so that is just so mind-blowingly beautiful. I can't even describe.
Yeah. Wow. So, you and I have had conversations before, and um, it's hard to even imagine what someone's life could be like with some of these girls, if you haven't, if you've been blessed enough to have a fairly good life. And so, and I love the fact that you focus on, people that have never been to college before, right? They're the first ones in their family.
Yep. So they're taking a huge leap of faith.
Yeah. Are you able to share maybe kind of like some of these circumstances that people that you find that they have to deal with, and that it just doesn't even, it doesn't even occur to us, some of these things to kind of, some realness in, because, having a bad day sometimes for many people is not really having a bad day.
Right. It's definitely all about perspective, which, I remind my family about all the time. So our girls, they're so amazing and they're so driven. But they've been dealt a really difficult hand in life. So most of our girls are the primary caregiver for younger siblings. A lot of times they contribute financially pretty substantially to their household. And so when they do want to go to college, a lot of times their families make them feel guilty about wanting to leave, and kind of abandoning that role that they've had in the family. And so one of my jobs is to help them understand you're not abandoning your family, you're actually helping your family by going to college. And you're gonna be able to get a better job and a higher paying job, and really have a more stable future if you go to college. And it's not an immediate thing as working, a long-term investment in your future. And so we have a lot of those conversations with students. We've seen everything from, especially recently, girls dealing with mental health issues, and times we're the only people that they have to call. And so, there was one week where I had 3 girls that were in the hospital for mental health reasons. We've had girls that their families stole their identity, and ruined their financial credit. We had one girl who 2 weeks before she went to college came home and found her dad committed suicide. And she was the one that found him. And, we were the number in her phone to call. And so what we do is we're just a community and a support, because you don't know what you don't know, but at least they know who they can call, and they know who can be there to support them and help them. And while I wish I could make every problem go away that these girls have, because they're so amazing, I just want a little magic fairy wand. At least they're not alone when they go through it. And that sense of community, which I think we've all realized during the past 7 months, is so important, because without community, we're all gonna go crazy. And so being able to be that support for these girls is just amazing. And I think what's been so wonderful, especially in the Orlando Winter Park area, is there are so many people that have stepped up when we've said, here's what our girls are going through. They're doing online learning. They can't live on campus. There are a lot of people living in their household. They're dealing with food insecurity. They don't have reliable internet in order to take their classes. Our community has given us everything we've asked for to help these girls, whether it's food, whether it's a place for study, whether it's gift cards. So we opened a study center for them to study at. So gift cards for gas for them to get to the study center. Whatever it is that we've said our girls need, community steps up and provides it. And it's, from my perspective, it makes me love living in this area. Because there's nothing I've asked for that somebody has been like, no. You know, counseling, food, airplane tickets for them to be able to get home. Or we had a couple of girls that actually it was safer and better for them to move on campus at their school. And so to get them and all of their stuff up to school. So, you know, we live in such a great community, and despite everything going on, I think at least I get to see, I think, the best in people during this time, which is a nice little silver lining.
Yes.
When I'm stuck in a house with a 2-year-old for days on end.
Oh my gosh. That is so true. And, you know, I love that. I love the component of you saying, you know, and realizing it really makes you proud of where we live and the efforts that have been, because how long has you know, Susan started this years ago, right?
So Support Our Scholars started back in about 2004.
Okay.
And at the time it was just, she started around her kitchen table with some of her clients. She used to own a store on Park Avenue. And they just kind of did one girl and then one girl. And now we've had 44 girls graduate. We've got 52 enrolled in college right now, which is amazing. We're about to take at least 21 more in the spring. You know, and so there's so much need in our area to support these young women who have such amazing dreams and who are going to be the people that are going to change the world, hopefully lead us in a better place. And so it's fun to get to find them and help them be a little part on their journey of helping them make their dreams come true and help them become the woman that they dream of being, you know, when they're 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, that is just thrilling. How can you share a little bit about the process of how you find these girls? And I know you're
I'm in the thick of it. Yeah. So thankfully, you know, Orange County Public Schools and Seminole County Public Schools have been such great partners for us, especially during COVID, because usually I would go into the schools and I do my little dog and pony show and talk to, which clearly I can't do right now. So I've relied really heavily on the guidance counselors and the teachers in the schools who are overworked and, you know, dealing with everything that they're dealing with. But they have been such great partners for us in setting up virtual visits for me with their students. So I meet with students and get the word out about what we're doing. It's not a hard sell, honestly, telling students that they can get a $10,000 scholarship and get a mentor and get dorm supplies and a laptop and all of this other stuff. It's not a hard sell. And so right now I'm just connecting with guidance counselors in different schools. And then our application will open in December. And then I'll spend all the spring reading applications and reading essays. And they're the most heartbreaking and beautiful and vulnerable essays that you'll read, that girls write about. Here's what I dream of, and here's why I need a mentor to help me get there. And then we do interviews, and then we find our girls through that process. And you know, it's so wonderful, but I I am always haunted by the ones that we don't choose to them, because I would love to take them all. But my budget is not big enough to take them all. And so, you know, finding who's the girl that's really gonna lean into having a mentor and who's really going to have her life changed by having a mentor. That's who I'm looking for. And so, you know, the school systems are so great at helping me find those girls, because oftentimes they're going to class and then they're working 30 hours a week, and they're not super involved in clubs because then they're going home and watching a younger sibling. And so the schools are really good at helping me identify who that girl is in their senior class.
Wow, that is just beautiful. And well, you know, you'll continue to grow and grow and grow. And
yep.
Hopefully these, you know, numbers will double, triple, quadruple, you know, throughout the year.
That's the goal.
Yeah. So share a little bit about, Ginny. You were talking about how people could possibly either contribute or help, or what you're looking for, because it, like you said, it takes a village.
It does. And I know great is it takes a village of people with various talents, you know, and some people's talent is, I can write a check, which, you know, thank you to those people. You can donate at supportourscholars.org. But for other people, their talent and their gifting is, I can work with a student, or I can mentor a student, or, you know, yeah, so the people that can write a check, we are super thankful for those people. Supportourscholars.org, there's a donate button. But for other people, you know, their gift is really that they want to work directly with a student. And that's the heart of what we do. Obviously, we need money to do it. But having a pool of women locally and a pool of women around the country that want to rally around our students and provide them support, whether it's as a 4-year commitment as a mentor and being super deep with a student, or whether it's somebody that says, you know what, if you've got it. So we definitely need people who are willing to, you know, rally behind these girls, whether it's as a 4-year commitment as a mentor, to be, you know, super deep with a student and be with her through her college journey, or whether it's somebody that's just willing to say, you know what, if one of your students is having a tough time and maybe got a bad test score, I can send her a care package and kind of cheer her up and let her see that, you know, I believe in her, and, you know, there's people behind her. Or, you know, we need people that are willing to show girls, here's what it's like to be a female in the engineering field. And here's where I got where I am. And, you know, I'm willing to talk to you about what I do in my job, or don't go into this field because, and so, you know, we need people to help on so many different levels with our girls, which is really great, because I think it provides people a lot of different opportunities to get involved. But I need a lot of people involved. So it really does take a village to help us kind of find out what that girl's dream is, and then get her to become that woman that she dreams of being. So, you know, it takes people being deep. It takes people, you know, doing little things that they think are little things that really turn into her to big things. So
that's amazing. So, and you were saying also that it's not just people that are in the Central Florida area, that you have students all over?
We do. We have students that attend 23 different institutions. So about half state and state, but about half go out of state. And so we've got girls in Boston, in California, Texas, pretty much everywhere. And so if she could have somebody in her area that can take her out to lunch, or okay, maybe not right now, but in theory, take her out to lunch or coffee, or just have somebody check in on her to see that she's doing okay. You know, those are the things, and having that community, that's what gets our students to graduate.
That's fantastic. And I mean, I know, especially having grown up in a different country and coming here at that time, and I think back of so much to that time, especially lately. I think it might just be these conversations, of really looking at your past and kind of, just how things evolved. And I felt like a fish out of water. Like I just did not belong. And, my parents most of the time lived in Spain. And so I didn't know many people here. And my family was all the way in California. And so to have someone that, that care about you and believe in you and that can mentor you is so huge. That can keep you, on a really beautiful path. So,
and I think to have somebody that you can text or call and say, like, it's not going good, like, I need help. And I think the art of learning to ask for help is a learned skill.
It is. And I'm sure they probably, so many of us, not even in a situation like that, but, a lot of times we just continue to kind of self-sabotage our life. And it's not about asking for help or being that vulnerable either. So that's really a beautiful thing that you give, to someone else. Wow. So this is living a beautiful life. And thank you.
Yes.
Ginny. And Susan.
And I'm so thankful that this is, what I get to do with my life. And, I feel so fulfilled every day. And I'm thankful my office is close by your studio, so I can pop in and, look as glamorous as I feel on the inside. So that's fun.
Yeah, love it. And what's been even more fun for me is that not all of the speakers have been clients of mine, but quite a few of them, like Ginny, mine, that I've known for years, and just been able to be a part of, and, knew you before you got your doctorate.
I know, when I was just a regular person. Just a
regular girl. And so it's just
a girl with big dreams.
That's it. And here you are being
doctor.
Yes, being the dream girl for all the other girls. So
yes.
So sprinkling some happiness around the world and doing something that just makes you shine and beam. And Ginny is the embodiment of beautiful. So I have to say, inside and out. So it's really been such an honor, Ginny, to have you on the panel.
Oh, this is so fun.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. And definitely how can they contact you? I mean, obviously we have the information, but what's the best way for them to contact you if you feel like, hey, I would love to be a mentor. This sounds like something moving into the new year that could really add to your life as well as someone else's.
Yeah, they can always email me. So you can see, I'm assuming they can see how my name is spelled down there. So my email is jenny@supportourscholars.org. Or if you just go on our website, supportourscholars.org, and you fill out a little website inquiry, it goes to my inbox either way. So either way is great. The way when you work in an organization of like two, it all goes to the same inbox.
Two people can rock and roll. Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. And I'm thrilled because as Ginny and I were talking as well, we are going to put together a whole little series with Cara Cosmetics and
Mhm.
and helping the scholars to, you know, present themselves, to polish their look, to, you know, be ready for that amazing job or internship or whatever it can be. And also having a scholarship too that will, someone will get to win a year's supply of makeup and skincare. So that's how fast we can make things happen.
And they're gonna be so excited when they hear about that. Like you just have no idea.
Well, I'll be so excited too. So that's fantastic. Ginny, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of the viewers.
Thank you.
Yes, on the Beauty Dharma Summit. And, you know, this is just the beginning of so many beautiful conversations and sharing the power that we can do to make the world a more beautiful place and to live more beautifully as well, and in so many aspects. And, you know, that doesn't mean that you don't feel cuter with maybe a new lip gloss. But, you know, life is a journey and a discipline, and, you know, keep your purpose. Stay on purpose. Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you on the next Beauty Dharma session. Thanks.
And I will be seeing you soon for some glam.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.